Hey, hey, Cyndilu here, coming at you live from New Zealand, as I always am. I'm the founder of Be Bold You, where we help you to take life's twists and turn them into something beautiful. I'm here today with the wonderful and amazing Kim Mcghee of In the Kitchen with Kim. She started as a cake maker, and now she's doing plant-based foods and teaching recipes of how to do that. Now she does have indulgence now and then, and she'll tell you a little bit more about that. So Kim, welcome to the Be Bold You interview series. I'm so happy to have you here and excited to hear more about plant-based eating.
Thank you, Cindy. I'm glad to be here with you today. So I'm ready.
Okay, what state are you in? Just so the
I'm
people
I'm
know
in,
where.
I'm currently in California.
In California. Okay.
Yeah, Los Angeles, California. Yes.
So you started with making cakes. Can you just tell me a little bit about that journey and how that began? And your cakes
Yes.
are amazing. That Sweet 16 one. Oh, girl. Mm-mm.
Thank you so much. Yes, I started baking about 15 years ago. It was actually in 2003, right after I had my son, my middle child. He's 15 years old now. But I was working as a nurse at UCLA Hospital, and it was right after I had him. And I was supposed to be switched to the day shift, but they kept me on the night shift. So, needless to say, I'm going to make a long story short.
Oh,
I ended up falling asleep on the job because they placed me like in the room in the dark in a lounge chair just to keep an eye on the patients. And I ended up falling asleep. So, needless to say, I got fired. And from that day, I told myself that I would never work for anyone else but myself. So, I didn't want to have anyone, I would say, in control of what I made, when I worked, and when I didn't. So that's when I decided to do the cake business. And I actually started on the street corner selling my cakes in front of a little chicken spot here in LA. And it just went from there. I continued, I grew my business, I did farmers markets, and then it was such a high demand that I started doing phone orders. So that's what I do today. My customers can either phone or email their order in, and then we deliver it to them.
so you're
Yes.
still doing the cake business.
Yes, but not as much. I slowed down just a little because, to tell you the truth, to be honest, I was at a point of burnout. I was working so many days, so many hours, at least 12 to 15 or more hours a day. And I rarely took days off. So that was the recipe for burnout, and I was burnt out. So during my slowdown, that's when I stumbled upon Coach Glitter. And I've really been able to just really hone in on my passion because I've always been a cook. I've always loved to cook, loved to bake, and be in the kitchen. And now to see those things just really transpire and me give my all, it's really rewarding. So I'm just so happy about that. Yes.
Wow. So how long have you been doing the videos online?
For about 4 months. 4 months.
Okay. How
Yes.
was
Four to
that
six,
first?
somewhere around there.
How was that first one? I'm just curious.
Ooh. It was so scary. I was sweating profusely. Um, it took me so long to hit that live button. I contemplated. I was sitting there for about 2 hours. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna press it. I'm not gonna press it. I'm gonna press it. So that was like the scariest thing for me. But after the first one, it wasn't that bad. yeah, I survived. I didn't die. So I'm so glad that I did hit that live button and I did do live videos because it has totally changed my life. It has totally changed my vision. It has changed everything. So, and it's a way where I can reach more people and help more people, and that's where my core really is. It's in to serve and to give back. So yeah, yeah, it's allowing me to do that in a way that I never thought possible. Yes.
Yeah, doing the videos has been absolutely amazing for me. And then doing these interviews, I know this is your second one, right? Or third, second or third
Yeah,
that
this is
you've
my
been
third one, but the
third
first one
one.
hasn't been released yet. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really when I started doing the interviews and started being interviewed and then interviewing people,
Yes.
I found my love. So this for me is like you're cooking in the kitchen.
Oh,
I just
really?
love it. It's like my reason to get up in the morning, and I love introducing the world to different people and letting them hear that, yeah, there's struggles that go into doing these things. And yeah, we don't want
Yes.
to necessarily push that live button the first time or do that first interview or do whatever the first time. It's
Yeah.
always difficult. But it's because it's new. And if we're so afraid to try new things that we can't step into something new, we're never going to find what inspires us and gets us moving. So,
Yes, I
and
totally
I love
agree.
watching your in the kitchen with Kim videos. They're
Oh,
just fun.
thank you.
And you always like the food looks so good. So you've now started doing 80% plant-based and 20% indulgence. See, I listen
Yes.
all the time. So,
Yeah.
um, what made you switch to plant-based? What's the backstory to why you're now doing that?
Okay. My backstory is usually for my height, I'm about 5'4", 5'5" with heels. It just depends. But usually I'm around 150, and I was starting to upwards be 200 pounds. So that was um, one of the one of the reasons I should say that I went plant based. But another one was I just wasn't feeling my best. I had headaches, I had migraines, I had joint pain, I was feeling fatigued, I didn't have enough energy. I had dandruff like really, really bad. I mean, so bad to where I literally had to wash my hair either every 2 days or almost every day. And since
Oh, you
and
froze up.
sorry about that. Okay,
That's all
and
right.
since going plant based, all of that has gone away. Every single thing. As far as the dandruff, I can go 2 weeks without washing my hair if I choose to. The headaches, the migraines are gone. Um, my skin is glowing. I feel so much better. I'm just naturally happy. I don't know why, but I'm just happy all the time now. And it's it's sort of weird because usually, moods are up and down. Sometimes you're feeling great, sometimes you're not, but I'm just really happy. I'm just really happy. I don't know why, if it's something to do with the food, or I just really know it is to do with the food. Yeah, so it really has a lot to do with the food that you're eating because I'm feeding my cells on a cellular level. I'm feeding my body on a cellular level. And the benefits are just amazing. But before I went plant based, I slowly transitioned. So before I went plant based, I was eating just like regular foods. I was eating meat with every meal 3 times a day, snacking all the time. And all of those foods were basically GMO. They were genetically modified organisms. And when I found out about GMOs and the side effects and all the damage that they're causing to our bodies, as far as the chemicals, the poisons, no wonder why when we eat them, we're so tired. We feel so sluggish. We're looking older before our time. You know, just all of these things are just haywire in our body, and that's our body way of telling you something isn't right. So I just took it back to the food and the things that I was putting in inside my body and on my body. And once I started changing those things to organic, so organic meats, organic fruits, organic vegetables, I really started seeing all of the complications that I was having personally slowly diminish. But it wasn't really until I went plant based that the weight just started falling off. Everything went away, even even my snoring, because I used to snore at night, and me and my husband would race to who would fall asleep first. But now, since we're not taking in the dairy and the meat and the cheese and all of that mucus, it has freed that up. So we can actually have a peaceful night's sleep. And it's funny now, but that's the truth. Yes, it's just really an amazing lifestyle. But I tried eating all plant-based, and whew, I was a little miserable. I found myself grumpy, grouchy, angry, emotional, upset. So I was like, okay, I don't want to feel like I'm restricted. I don't want to feel like I'm on a diet, so to speak. So I just want to be able to live my life the way I want to live it, because this is not a diet. This is a journey. So this is a journey that's going to lead into a healthy lifestyle. So when I want to indulge, or if I have a craving, then I feel it. Whether it be meat, whether it be chips, because sometimes I still do crave hot Cheetos. I was definitely a hot Cheetos girl. So if I'm in the mood, then I just have it, and then I go back to eating plant based. I don't make a big deal. I don't make a big fuss. It's just all a part of my journey.
Yeah, I think that people feel like when you're doing vegan eating that you have to do that 100% of the time or you're not a true vegan. And it's like,
Yes.
well, that might be true as far as you're not a true vegan, but
Hmm.
making the choice to eat vegan-based meals as your priority has changed your life so much. And I know for me, when I eat vegan, I feel better. So,
Yes.
and I don't eat vegan 100% of the time, but I enjoy vegan foods. So it's
Yes.
very interesting when I go out and I'm in places where they have gluten free or they have, dairy free, and I'll make those choices. And then
Mhm.
when I go to somebody's house and they're serving something that's got gluten in it, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm like, well, no, it's a choice that I make to avoid it most of the time. However, if you got that mint cookies covered with chocolate, I'm going to have one. I ain't going to worry
Yeah.
about the fact that there's gluten in that thing. I'm just going to eat
Yeah.
it and enjoy it, you know.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, so that's yeah, totally the way to
And
go.
that's what it's all about. And that's what I want to put out there. That's the message that I want everyone to know, that, you're not restricted. And it's all about choices, daily choices, because I choose to eat plant based 4 to 5 times a week. Now, the other days I can choose to indulge if I want to or not. But the choice is really up to you. And you can pretty much have whatever you want, because my big thing is no soy. But when we eat out, guess what? There's soy. If we have a cookie or something like that and it might have a little soy in it, guess what? It's okay. The majority of the time I'm choosing not to eat soy, but when I indulge, there's no hold bar. I don't care what's in it, as long as it tastes good, then I can just indulge for that time, that moment, that day, whatever I choose to indulge in, then there's really no guilt or no shame, because a lot of people attach guilt with food. Ooh, excuse me, with food, and there's really no reason. It's just the choices that we make on a daily basis. They're little baby steps, little choices, little decisions that lead up to that journey and that healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, I think that it's really interesting because your message and my message are really a lot the same, is that we have the power to choose how we live our life. We have the power to decide what it is we want to do with our life, what it is we want to focus on. You know, the world is full of so many choices that you have to get to the point where you know what resonates with your core and you have to go with that. And another person might be a complete meat eater and they may love it and they may feel great on it. Then we're not going to like try to make them become vegan eating, you know. But if you're not feeling good on it, maybe give it a go and jump on over and watch Kim and see what she's doing. And even if you don't want to eat plant-based all the time, this girl's got some really good recipes. You know, you got a bunch of extra carrots in your fridge and you don't know what to do with them. She will show you how to turn them into hot dogs.
Yes. Yes, and that's my core message. I help meat eaters love plants. So I'm not saying that I make meat eaters eat vegan food, but I help them love plants because we should all have a love for plants and vegetables in our own way because we're all unique, but they should be incorporated in your diet no matter what you're eating. So that's why I really I love that signature statement.
Yeah.
And I really believe in it and stand firm with it because, like I said myself, I'm only 80% vegan, and I'll let the world know I'm 80% vegan, 20% indulgence. So if you see me out and I have a rib in my hand, oh, isn't she claiming? No, I said I'm 80% vegan and 20% indulgence. So I really have fun in the kitchen. I really enjoy being in the kitchen, and I love creating foods, comfort foods, regular foods that really remind you of the traditional foods that you eat, but plant-based style. And so not only do I make them look good, but they actually taste good. They're tried recipes and I get great feedback on them. So I won't steer you wrong.
So do you have people that test your recipes or before you put
Yes.
them out there?
Well, I have a gift that God gave me. That's part of my gift. Not only is the cooking, but my taste buds. My taste buds are really rare. They're not like the usual taste buds. So if I tell you something is good, then it's good. So, you know, a lot of times people will be like, oh, try this. This is so good. And I tried, and I'm like, this is horrible. So everyone has their own definition of good, but the way my taste buds are set up, they require nothing but the best. So between me, my husband, my father-in-law, um, like I said, I've grown up cooking, so that's the feedback and the confirmation that I've been getting pretty much all my life. But I know for these vegan dishes, um, me and my husband are the best test tasters, and plus my father-in-law, because I know that their taste buds are high quality like mine, and they'll let me know. They're very honest, so they're not gonna just be like, oh yes honey, that's great. No, they'll let me know the truth. Well, this was too salty, or that's too bland, or so between us, yeah, we really, yeah.
Built-in testing team. That's
Yes,
awesome.
yes, yes,
Yeah, if you can make the husband and the father-in-law happy, you're all good.
yes.
That's a very good test team indeed.
Yes.
So what's been your biggest struggle switching over or transitioning? Like what food, because you do indulgence, you don't really miss. I was like, what food do you miss? Is it hot Cheetos that you miss the most, or is there some other food that you choose not to have anymore?
Ooh. Okay. The food that I miss the most are crab legs. And I haven't had any since I went vegan because my husband, he's 100% vegan. He doesn't eat meat, he doesn't
Oh
have
wow.
indulgent days. Yes, so he's really strict to when he decided to eat plant-based, he was just like, no, that's all up. So I'm like, oh, I don't have my crab leg partner. That's who I used to go get crab legs all the time with. So now that he's not eating that, I have to find someone to go with
Well,
because I've
girl,
been wanting some.
when I come to California, we are going.
Oh, really? Oh,
Oh yeah,
yes. I'm so excited. Okay, that's
it's the
perfect.
thing that I have missed the most in New Zealand, living in New Zealand. Just king
Really?
crab leg. Just give me some. Just give me some. Anyway,
Yes. Oh, with the butter
Alaskan
and the
king
lemon.
crab leg. Anyway,
Yes.
yes, you have a partner. I will come do that with you. Let's see. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with people about transitioning your life, whether it's going from meat eating to plant based or going from working for somebody else to working for yourself? Is there, like, what are the keys that have helped you to make those transitions? Like commitment level? Was it just a decision?
Mhm. Okay, so I'll start with the business side. So I've always been a risk taker. I grew up, my mom was on drugs pretty much my whole life. So it's always been a struggle for us. Like a lot of times we were homeless. I really didn't have clothes or food. I had to work at an early age. I actually started working, I think, when I was 13, and I had to provide a lot of things for myself if I wanted those things. So I've always been a risk taker and a go getter because of my situation. And in hindsight, that turned out to be a blessing because it caused me not to be a lazy, spoiled brat. It actually helped me to be focused. I had to be the adult at an early age. So when a lot of my friends were partying, I was doing more of what's responsible. So that was a bonus. And even though my mom was on drugs, she always firmly and consistently told me that I can do anything that I put my mind to, that I'm going to be great. Anything that I want, I can achieve it. I just go after it and get it. And I believed her because she told me that much that it became a part of me. It became a part of my DNA and who I was. So there's nothing that I want that anyone else can tell me I can't have. Even if it's not meant for me, I still go through the motions. I try it out. Even if I fail at it, there's no such thing as failure because you have to really put your foot out there, dive all the way in, and try the thing so you know what you don't want to do and what you want to do. That helps you figure things out. And that's how I've always been because I've done hair. I didn't want to do that because the long, standing up all the time and the moving of your hands, they were starting to ache. I'm like, okay, that's not for me. I tried the nursing thing. That definitely wasn't for me. So I've tried different things to figure out and really hone in on what I really love to do. And it wasn't until I read the book A Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren that I really found and honed in on my true purpose and what I'm here for and why I went through those things as a child because God makes no mistakes. He picked my parents for me to create me and who I am, and all of the things and all of the hardships that I've been through have made me the woman that I am today. And without those, I wouldn't be who I am. So, I really have love in my heart. I've forgiven plenty of times. Like I said, my mom was on drugs, so I literally had to forgive her every day, at least 5 times a day. So that taught me how to forgive early on, how to have a forgiving heart, how not to be judgmental, and how to really just accept people for who they are and, deal with them accordingly. So that's what I do. And it has all just really tied in within the last few years to where there's nothing more that I want to do than to live in my purpose, fulfill it, and help. Yes, and help people.
Help people. That's awesome.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow, that is awesome. Well, we are actually at 7:25. Can you believe 25 minutes have gone by already? So,
Really? Wow,
yeah.
that was fast.
So I have these 10 questions that I've started asking everybody. So you're ready?
Yes.
All right. Do you consider yourself more introverted or extroverted?
Introverted.
All
Yes, because
righty.
oh,
Go ahead.
did I
Because you,
elaborate? Okay. I'm more of an indoor girl. I love people. But in order for me to like energize and mentally charge, I have to have my alone time. So that's where the introvertedness comes in. Yes.
what phrase or quote encourages you the most?
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yes, I love
Amen.
that.
That's one of mine.
Yes.
What is your favorite color?
Red. Yes, I love red. It
What
it just makes,
energizes?
oh, go ahead.
Red just makes you what?
It just brings out my skin tone. It goes really well. So yeah.
I'm wearing the right color then today.
Yes.
What energizes you?
Um Sleep. I need my rest. Without it, I'm a monster from another planet. I'm just kidding. Yes, I have to have my rest, and I make sure that I take naps, and I make sure I go to bed at a reasonable time because I have to have my sleep. Yes.
Yeah, naps are my friend.
Yes.
What has been your favorite age?
My favorite age, I would say 42. This is the happiest that I've been in so long. This is definitely it. I'm wiser, I'm older, I know how to use it, my knowledge, so to speak. And yes, I'm just really loving it. I'm just really coming in to who I really am and who I really want to be and who I really want to serve. So I would say now.
That's awesome. So, what book are you reading now?
I'm reading a book called The Best Marketer Wins by Ming Lee. Yes.
Okay. And what's the most exotic place you've ever visited?
Um, ooh, I would say San Lucas. Cabo San Lucas.
I have wanted
Yes.
to go there. I've not yet
Yes.
gotten
It's
it.
so beautiful.
And do you create to live or live to create?
You said, do I create to live or live to create? I would say I create to live. Yes, I create to live because without me being able to express my creativity through cooking, through cakes, through just art in general, yeah, I would probably be a miserable mess. So, yes.
Name the person who has had the most influence in your life, whether dead or alive.
My husband, definitely
Oh,
my husband. Yes.
that's
Yes.
awesome.
He's so supportive. He's so loving. He's so genuine. He's so loyal. There's so many characteristics about him. We've been together about 17 years, married for 15. So he's like my best friend, and we get along so great. And he helps me out so much. Yeah, that he's really made a big impact in my life. Yes.
Oh, awesome. And what one word describes you best?
Ooh, that's a good one. Um, one word. I would say ambitious.
Awesome. So if people want to connect with you, go ahead and let them know where to do that.
Okay, so you can find me on Facebook at In the Kitchen with Kim. You can also find me on Instagram at In the Kitchen with Kim as well. But my stomping grounds is Facebook. I go live. I try at least 2 times a week. with delicious recipes, and then I give you cooking demonstrations. Excuse me. So I'm actually in the kitchen showing you how to cook and eat plant based, and then I give you recipes and pictures so you have something to go go by as well. And you can always send me a message. I'm just here to really help and serve, and to help you transition slowly but surely. Like I said, this is a journey. Nothing happens overnight. So you're going to have to pretty much unlearn the way that you've ate in the past to relearn how to eat healthy. So, yeah, that's where you can find me.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for being with me today, for agreeing to do this. I know when I asked you, I don't think you had even done your first one yet. So
No,
thank you for being willing to jump off the cliff with me a little bit. Um,
thank you for
and for
having me.
those who are listening, whether you're listening here live, watching the replay, or listening on the podcast, because this will be one of my podcasts, I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen today. I want to encourage you and inspire you that you can do anything that you want to do, that you have complete power in the choices that you make, and that every day you can live life out loud and be bold you.
Yes.